It's so good to see everyone. I know you're enjoying your drink and food. Good evening, everyone, friends and colleagues. My name is Asenath Durabingwa. I'm the Executive Director for International Faculty and Scholar Services, which is within the International Student and Scholar Services Office at Rutgers Global. The team that I lead supports all the employment visa sponsorships at Rutgers New Brunswick, Rutgers Camden, RBHS, and works very closely with hiring units throughout the process of sponsoring our international faculty and scholars. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to our first international scholar reception since 2019, following the enormous disruption by the COVID-19 pandemic. I am so pleased to see so many of you and happy that we can gather in person to enjoy this occasion. Whether you're here as an international scholar from Rutgers New Brunswick, Newark, Camden, or RBHS, faculty supervisor, chair, dean, or a department administrator, we are very happy to have you at this gathering today to recognize and celebrate the contributions of international scholars in the areas of research and teaching. We are happy to have you here along with your families. I've seen children, which is really great, who we know sacrifice a great deal as the postdoctoral researchers and visiting scholars spend time working on finding cures and solutions to global problems. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank the Faculty and Scholar Services team for all the work they have put in to bring this event to life and for their tireless everyday work to ensure that our scholars' visa sponsorship is processed seamlessly and onboarded in collaboration with our many departmental administrators who partner with us to ensure that our scholars transition to Rutgers very smoothly. I'm going to ask them to get out here so that I can acknowledge them. We have Carl Bumley, who's the Assistant Director for International Faculty and Scholar Services. We have Gina Antonados, International Faculty and Scholar Advisor. We have Wade Binapus, International Faculty and Scholar Advisor. Okay. And we have Stacy Bryant, our admin assistant, who has had a heavy hand in making sure every moving part came together. Of course, we have two positions that are open. One, due to retirement, and another one, just switching employment. So thank you so much for all the work that you do. Appreciate you all. I also want to thank our global leadership for the support, as well as to all the teams which provided hands-on support towards this event, communications and marketing. And of course, I will not forget to acknowledge Dr. Jiang Zhang, who is Assistant Vice President for Global Affairs. Thank you all. And now I would like to welcome our Vice President for Global Affairs, Rick Garfunkel. And he's called Dr. Eric Garfunkel, but we used to calling him Rick. So Rick is a Vice President for Global Affairs at Rutgers University. Rick earned his bachelor's degree from Haverford College and his PhD from UC Berkeley. He has held visiting professorships in France, England, China, Germany, and Italy. Rick is a distinguished professor of chemistry and physics who specializes in science and technology for solar energy conversion and nanoelectronics. We are very fortunate to have you, Rick, leading the university's internationalization efforts. So welcome.
Thank you, Asenath. I think her introduction is about as long as my presentation this year. Thank you all for being here. I understand that most of the scholars are actually here as researchers, and much smaller fraction are here doing teaching. Certainly, you're all welcome here. You're definitely central for our research enterprise at the university. and also for the global impact of the university, for the reputation of the university. The reputation is going to be related to a large extent by our publication, and it's often the postdoc and visiting scholars who are having a big impact, at least in many of the fields on the research, which is not to say that the students aren't contributing, but often they're a little bit behind per year, I guess. Anyways, we're very happy that you're here today and that you're here to listen to some brief comments by the Vice Chancellor for Research of New Brunswick, Denise Hein, who's going to give a presentation in a little bit. As mentioned, the international scholars are certainly critical, important for supporting, developing, and leading the research portfolio of the university. They also contribute some to teaching. How many of you here are involved in teaching of the research scholars? 1, 2, 3. How many of you are involved in research? More. Yes. Actually, many I see their hands are raised for both. So you're doing both. My experience, as Asenath mentioned before I came here, was as a postdoc. I was a postdoc in France and China, and wonderful experience. It definitely had a big impact on the way I think and the problems that I choose. I definitely learned a lot during that experience, as I hope you all are doing during your experience here. I followed up during sabbatical periods in times both to France and China, as well as to Italy, Germany, and a few other places. In addition to impacting my research, they also kind of impacted my career trajectory, because I was traveling quite a bit, giving presentations and going to conferences. Jean, how many did you go to this year abroad? She's another one of our vice chancellors who I believe was traveling internationally for 6 conferences this past year. So that really impacted both my research and my ability to partner with other people around the world in projects, and it landed me in this job 8 years ago as Vice President for Research of Rutgers. For those of you who don't know, as was mentioned, I'm a professor of chemistry and physics in the general field of nanoscience, nanotechnology. Most of my group members and many in the STEM fields that didn't go home ended up in semiconductor or solar industry here in the US. So they went on to have productive careers here. We certainly don't push them either to stay here or to go back home. For some areas of the world, I just came back from Africa actually at 5 a.m. this morning. And the very strong push in the case of the developing world is to make sure that people go back. So we're pushing and encouraging that and facilitating long-term relationships certainly with the developing world. We do see when we travel, and I'm traveling a fair amount as VP of Global, to find Rutgers people all over. Jiyoung is going in a couple of weeks to South Korea, the leading national university, Seoul National University there. The president is a Rutgers grad. 2 days ago, I was in Ghana. A day ago, I guess I was in Ghana. And it's too loud?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
You turned it off. You want it off?
The music's still going. Go ahead.
Oh. You don't like the music? Thank you. Dinner jazz he had on. The Dean of Engineering of University of Ghana, which is definitely one of the top 10 schools in Africa. After a half-hour conversation with her, she explained, but you remember me from before. She was a postdoc at Rutgers in the chemistry department 20 years ago. And I knew her face, but I didn't quite remember that I knew her from before. So this I find all around the world. There's Rutgers graduates who have moved up in the world, or in her case, visiting scholar. What else? I want to remind you that you are not done with us when you leave here and go back home or wherever you gotta go on to, you're an alumnus of us in a way. You're not an alumnus in the sense that you graduated, but we do want you to stay in contact with us, and we have your email address, and we'll find you if you don't find us. We do events abroad, and we bring together the students and the alumni for fun events. You help us abroad with partnerships with other universities. You help us with recruiting, and you help us in taking internships and working on projects together. So please do stay in close contact, especially if we don't have your email address, and please stay in contact with Asana's team and the rest of the Rutgers Global team. We look forward to long-term relationships with you. Done, and then some. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I would like to now invite Dr. Alexander Pichegin. It's coming from the back. I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Pichegin because he has been a part of our team for many years, going through the entire visa alphabet. So when I asked him and he said yes, I was so pleased and excited. So Dr. Pichegin is an assistant teaching professor in the Department of German Languages and Cultural Studies. Department of German, Russian, and East European Languages and Literatures. He's also the director of German Languages and Cultural Studies in the same department. In terms of his research, Dr. Pichegin's two main research areas are literally eco-criticism and second language acquisition. In the area of literary eco-criticism, his current research revolves around the formulation and exploration of ecological approaches in German language literatures from the end of the past century until today. In the area of second language acquisition, which is the SLA, Dr. Pichegin's research is both theoretical, examining cultural aspects of language learning, and practical, which is curriculum development and classroom practices. Dr. Pichegin obtained his MED and PhD degrees from the University of Pennsylvania. So he's truly a Scarlet Knight, having been through this process for many years, and we're so happy that you're here to give a few remarks. Welcome.
I hope you can hear me well. Dear colleagues, dear friends, it is a profound honor and privilege to be here in front of you as we all gather to share experiences, insights, and journeys as international scholars in the United States. My own journey as an international student, scholar, and teacher in the USA has been a remarkable and transformative one. And it is my hope that my experiences may resonate with some of you. As we have all chosen this path of academia and research, we understand the unique challenges and opportunities that come with it. When I first arrived in the United States many years ago, I was filled both with excitement and trepidation. Me being unfamiliar with a new culture, the challenging of adapting to different academic systems, and the distance from my home country presented significant hurdles to me as to many of us. However, it was precisely these challenges that pushed me to grow and evolve professionally and personally. One of the most profound, one of the most powerful aspects of being an international scholar is the ability to bridge cultures and to build bridges of understanding. Through my research, our teaching, and our interactions with colleagues and students, we all have the privilege to foster cross-cultural exchange and collaboration. We are not just educators and researchers. We are ambassadors of knowledge and understanding. In my own experience, I have found that the willingness to embrace diversity and engage in meaningful cross-cultural dialogues has been essential. These interactions have not only enriched my studies, teaching and research, but also broadened my perspective on the world. The friendships and collaborations I have formed over the years with colleagues from Rutgers and around the world have been some of the most rewarding aspects of my academic journey. However, it is important to acknowledge that our path is not without challenges. The immigration process, visa regulations, and the constant need to prove oneself in a foreign academic environment can be demanding. But it is overcoming these challenges that we demonstrate our resilience, determination, and unwavering commitment to our chosen fields. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to all my Rutgers colleagues from Rutgers Global, and especially those colleagues that I worked immediately in the process of becoming an international scholar. Asenat Ludabingwa, Carl Puente, that is the most recent one, then Carissa McCarthy, and Gina Antonatos. Those are my 4 colleagues that are, that are very, very good. Let's give them a round of applause. They are excellent. They are excellent in what they are doing, and great colleagues and great friends. As we navigate these challenges and successes, I encourage you all to remember the importance of self-care and a healthy work-life balance. The pursuit of knowledge can be all-consuming, but it is crucial to prioritize our well-being, both physically and mentally. Take time for yourselves, nurture your passions outside of academia, and build a support network within our international scholar community. In conclusion, I am here today as a testament to the transformative power of international scholarship. Our experiences as scholars in the United States have shaped not only our careers, but also our perspective in the world. Let us continue to embrace the challenging, seize the opportunities, and foster understanding across borders. Thank you all for your dedication to the pursuit of knowledge, for your contributions to our global community, and for the honor of sharing this platform with you today. Together, we all continue to inspire, educate, and make a profound impact to the world. Thank you very much.
That was amazing. I am so encouraged. that was wonderful. Thank you. And to what he said that, don't get stuck in the labs just doing research. You need to go out there and interact with different cultures and just participate in the cultural programming, whether offered on campus or just go out there and explore, because the J1 visa is about cultural experience as you do research and also get an understanding of a new culture. So I'll now like to invite our keynote speaker, Dr. Denise Hain. Thank you for coming. Denise Hain is the Senior Vice Provost for Research for Rutgers New Brunswick. Dr. Hain holds several other titles in addition to being a licensed clinical psychologist. She's a tenured distinguished professor in the Department of Clinical Psychology. She's the director of the Center for Alcohol and Substance Use Studies. And she's the Helen E. Cheney Endowed Chair in Alcohol Studies at the Center of Alcohol and Substance Use Studies. Her work comprises both research and clinical experience investigating the epidemiology and treatment of co-occurring substance use disorders and post-traumatic stress disorder. She received her BA in psychology from Cornell University and her master's degree and PhD in clinical psychology at Teachers College, Columbia University, where she also worked on and off for several years, including spending some years at Adelphi University. I know there are other universities where you worked. Dr. Han has been at Rutgers for 6 years, since 2017. And we are so pleased that you made the time to come here and share this your time with us. So I would like to welcome you now to come and give your remarks.
Thank you so much, Asanath, for that lovely and very personalized bio and introduction. And yes, I'm Denise Hien, and I am delighted to be here with all of you this evening to learn more about the global, Rutgers Global, and also the postdoctoral scholars program that you and all of you here. So it's a joy to be here, and also really appreciate the words of wisdom from Alexander, about the experience. As you know, Rutgers is a research powerhouse, and in fact, the U.S. News and World Report just ranked us in the top 15 public universities in the United States. And all three of our campuses, Camden, New Brunswick, and Newark, are also now ranked in the top 100 national universities. We also are edging towards bringing in about $1 billion, close to $1 billion of research funding. So that's something that we're all very excited about. At Rutgers, we prepare our student body to become the next generation of leaders. We create breakthrough research and innovations with international impact and serve the needs of communities around the world. Research is essential to our reputation, and you, as our international scholars, are essential to our research for all of the reasons that Rick Garfunkel and others have already spoken to. And we are so glad to have you here at Rutgers and that you've chosen to be here. This year, we have nearly 1,200 international scholars from 110 countries among our ranks. Rutgers also welcomes about 6,000 international students from around the world to study at Rutgers each year, and we are truly a global university. Rutgers Global, our host this evening, is the Global Affairs Office of the university. And as you know, they are quite committed to strengthening the international impact and reputation of Rutgers in many ways, including recruiting and supporting a robust and diverse international student and scholar community, fostering global education at home and abroad that nurtures student success and development, partnering with leading international institutions to cultivate collaborative academic programs and research that address global grand challenges, and finally, creating opportunities for broad university community and its alumni to be engaged globally. So you know the International Student and Scholar Services team is part of Rutgers Global, and they have been here to help onboard and support you and your family members when you are here at Rutgers. The ISSS team is familiar with the challenges of living, studying, and working in a different country, and their mission is to provide quality advising services and offer supportive programming to visiting scholars and postdoctoral researchers, faculty and staff in the J1, H1B, and O1 and other employment-based visas. So I would like to suggest that you take advantage of these important resources of the ISSS team provides, and I'm very excited that everyone is here. I understand that this is the first time that you've gathered as a group since the pandemic, and when others have spoken about the need and importance to do social networking. We know that it's events like these and those that are thrown by the global office that help to promote and support all of those important collisions and interactions that we also hope that you'll be experiencing in your time here at Rutgers. To go off script a tiny bit, I wanted to say that I am a product of a global, scholar program. In that both of my parents, I'm a first generation in the United States. Both of my parents are from different countries. My father from Vietnam and my mother from Finland. And my father was an international student who then became an international scholar. And in Vietnam in the 1950s, used to go into the American embassy and read motorcycle magazines. And one day, a diplomat in the embassy, noticed him and came over to him, and he talked about his interests, and that person actually helped him to navigate his way into, and my father was an orphan, so he didn't have any means, but was able to help him facilitate a conversation with the United States, and he was given an offer to a university here, and ended up becoming a particle physicist, and then met my mother, who was a flight airline hostess for Pan Am International. She ended up getting her master's degree in social work, and they made their home here. And then now here I am as the senior vice provost for research, at Rutgers. So without programs like these and the support and investment in bringing international individuals to our country, we wouldn't have that, and you obviously recognize that. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of information on the work that I do here at Rutgers, and actually with my partner in crime, Jean Baum, who is our vice provost for life sciences, alliances, and partnerships. So as senior vice provost for research here in the chancellor's office, I lead a team of research development and strategy professionals and faculty fellows, so faculty who are interested in learning more about research leadership in higher education, and we're committed to building interdisciplinary, inclusive intellectual communities among faculty, students, and staff that drive forward the university's research enterprise. So some of our initiatives include implementing and convening strategic task forces on topics such as the life sciences, climate change, energy and sustainability, and cyber infrastructure and data science. We provide seed funding for Rutgers research faculty. We organize speed networking events and other kinds of events where we bring people together on common themes. We had one on gun violence, we had one on artificial intelligence, we had one on the future of work as some examples. And so our work really supports the entire Rutgers New Brunswick research community, as well as developing relationships and cross-chancellor-led units, so broader than just within New Brunswick, but also across the Rutgers Health, and as well as Newark and Camden. And it would also include our international scholars that without your critical contributions to our research, Rutgers wouldn't be one of the leading research universities in the nation. So during your time here at Rutgers, I invite you to take advantage of the diversity of our research enterprise, meet scholars from fields outside your own, be creative as you consider ways to collaborate with them on interdisciplinary projects, learn about the innovative research that's happening at our institutes and centers, and take advantage of the resources made available to you through your schools and departments to help you succeed in your research. In closing, I want to thank you for choosing to spend your time here at Rutgers doing impactful and transformative research and teaching. We recognize that international faculty and scholars play a powerful role in shaping our community, and we value you deeply. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the event.